Hey guys, today we have a major update. It seems that Karl Jobst' lawyer has submitted some type of document. We believe, again, a small group of us is actually investigating this via the court system, so no one can lie to us, right? We believe that it is about the cost and whether or not it is standard cost or indemnity. Now, let me explain the difference between standard cost. So if the court awards a cost on the standard basis, the party seeking payment has to prove that the costs are reasonable. If the cost is awarded on the indemnity basis, the presumption is reversed. So the court will need to find a reason not to award the cost claimed. So this is very important, right? This is incredibly important. We are getting documents. It looks like there's a small fee that we pay, and then we get the document we want. There is the Freedom Act, and I suggest you guys at home, if you are truly interested in joining us, that you also submit these. Because sometimes they will respond to one person, but not to another person. I do not know how this system works. I'm not from Australia. But let's get into the nitty gritty. One of the things that we are looking at in this case, right, is whether or not it will continue on to appeals. Well, right now they're battling on cost. Remember, Billy Mitchell's lawyer at the very end was listing a bunch of reasons as to $3,000 unreasonable and so on and so forth. There was no real apology. I am still shocked that no lawyer told no lawyer told Karl that, hey, you need to apologize, because even if we go to verdict, that will definitely help you lessen the damages. What is the harm in an apology? From a legal sense, there's really no harm, right? You can say, hey, I'm sorry you felt this way, but I'm going to apologize. You don't even have to admit fault at that point in time, even though clearly any lawyer would look at this case and know it, and if they understood it was about Apollo Legend, they would feel very concerned about the winnability of the case. Therefore, they would figure out a way to mitigate it. Mitigation is a defense to defamation. It's not an absolute defense, but it is a defense that will often, in this particular case, lessen the amount of money awarded in damages. So we have something from the defendant. It's happening right now, and I do feel like they waited until the very last, or they waited much longer than they had to. Okay, now let's talk about the one thing I want to talk about in the information we have now. One of the questions I proposed was there two cases or one case? There seemed to be one case with two entries. Okay, we needed a clarification. The only person who could clarify that would be the court. And we got clarification as to whether or not this was one case or two cases. And in fact, we asked the court, was there any other cases involving either of these or both of these plaintiffs? And the answer was no. So originally, the court case was about Apollo Legend. We actually have the court case, the original filing, and I read it to you in my last video. Then, at the very end, it was about Apollo Legend. Then the question is, can I get all the court documents in between? Because there is no second lawsuit. This entire time, I was misled to believe that there might have been two different lawsuits. It is now of my opinion, in having confirmed it with email to the court, that it is likely this is the only lawsuit. Now, could Karl get confused whether or not a threat of a lawsuit? No. I do not believe he would be confused in that wording. We looked at the GoFundMe wording, and we're going to take a look at it again. It mentions a second lawsuit. So these are the two. If you go there, and again, I suggest everyone who has a problem with this, you can do the same research I'm doing. You can email the court the same way we emailed the court. Nothing I'm doing is behind there's full transparency. I'm telling you step by step what I'm doing to get this evidence, and then I'm going to use my logic to try to figure out what's happening here. So this is a response on Good morning. The proceeding was begun in Karl's District Court under 13621 and was given the BD 107524 when it was transferred to Brisbane District Court. More information can be seen about these proceedings using our e-court party search at search results, which we used. And again, the only thing that comes out are these two entries. Should there have been a second lawsuit? So this is a question that was asked by one of my subscribers. I would please like to inquire about the above legal action. I know that recently at least one legal case was opened with reference. My question is as follows. Was the legal action between the parties just one defamation lawsuit, or was it multiple lawsuits? Just to confirm, I'm not connected to either party. I would just like to learn more about the nature of the dispute between the two parties. And that was the answer that was received by the court. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean... I think that means there was only ever one lawsuit. Now, Karl Jobst can prove that I'm wrong, right? But again, we have Billy... So we have the court telling us. We have Billy Mitchell's son telling us there was one lawsuit. And Billy Mitchell's son specifically says that there wasn't an iteration over video games. Okay. I want the court to show me this. And the reason I would know this is we're going to get the court documents. It's going to be very painful. As you know, the Freedom Act of Australia is similar to the Freedom Act of the US. It takes a lot of time, a lot of heating and hauling, right? This is another thing that I want to, everyone saying that, oh, he didn't mislead you. Well, there is a video, and this is titled, again, everything I have, you can type in this exact thing, okay? Karl began the video with a news anchor talking about cheating. Okay, so Karl was the editor. He's the person making the video. So why would you begin, again, the title, I'm finally going to trial against Billy Mitchell. Why would that need to begin with the news anchor thinking it's about cheating? This is so bizarre, right? Because it's not about cheating. You know what? It's about Apollo Legend. Yet you chose, again, I'm going to screenshot the exact moment. So this is from Karl's video. I'm going to trial versus Billy Mitchell. I'm finally going to trial against Billy Mitchell. This is very deceptive. Is it not? Because you get to pick what clips to show. And again, I have never seen the Billy Mitchell Apollo Legend. I've seen many clips of Billy Mitchell, but I have not seen the one clip where he talks about the lawsuit being Apollo Legend and not about video games. Here it is. Champion is suing a Brisbane YouTuber over cheating claims. This is as 013. So the audience, and you understand how YouTube works. Not everyone goes to the end of the video. Many people just, have very short attention spans. Maybe they're doing something. So what they're being told from the very beginning that this is about cheating. So all these claims about it's not about cheating. He never said it was about cheating. He always said it was about... At the very logical conclusion is you wouldn't put that clip in a video at the very beginning of the video unless you were trying to mislead your audience, right, over why you're going to try. The video is literally titled, I'm finally going to trial against Billy Mitchell, and the very first clip is about cheating. Now, the reporter had it wrong, and as did many people. We need these court documents, and I asked you guys for your help, and you guys have responded. Some of you have responded. What I'm teaching you to do is something that no other YouTuber is doing. I'm teaching you how to actually get the court files. How to email. If you have a question, and the question is, hey, are there two different cases here, or is this one case? Email the blanking court. Don't listen to either of the side. I mean, yes, obviously we have communication with Billy Mitchell's son, and we get asked about knots and other things that are related to that, but do your own homework. So many people were misled because they never read the court case. Until I read the court case, I thought it was about cheating as well. Then I heard about Apollo Legend, who was this name that kept appearing everywhere in the court case, but it was never mentioned really by, again, I'm pretty sure Karl Jobst is going to have a response video based on the fact that they are still continuing with their legal action. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's just trying to reduce costs, right, with the standard versus indemnity, which is an important thing. That's a very important thing. Side note, obviously, Cat is going after the judge right now. I believe he's an American citizen, so he's not really going to suffer that much harm. But I do think it is a little distasteful. If you guys want my full opinion on that video, like this video, subscribe, give me a thumbs up on this video. That would really help. Or leave a comment that you guys want me to cover that. Because it can get kind of... It's not the type of stuff that you want to... If you go back, way back, Karl Jobst was attacking like one of Billy Mitchell's witnesses or somebody like related. I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to attack the judges. I don't want to attack the witnesses. I mean, those are neutral parties, right? The only time I really went after someone was Karl Jobst's lawyers. And I did so with the idea that Karl would maybe listen and maybe choose different lawyers, but he's not going to. It's apparent to me now. At the end of the day, I can say that this case has been very, very toxic. This case has incredibly very affect. I mean, if you have any doubt, if you want any doubt of how toxic this case has become, you can either read the Cat blog, or you can even go on Karl's Discord. I've only shown like the very, very minimal, if that makes sense. But there are much, much scarier and worse and more hateful things there than anyone could. I ever imagined it was like that. All right, that's it. Bye, guys.